Sergeant First Class Glenn, and I'm going to be giving you a class on assertive communication. All right. So for this class, pretty much my one of my favorite classes to give is because this is a class where we try to talk to you a little bit on how we communicate with one another and how we talk to one another. You know, there's when a problem comes up and we try to win and what we're trying to do is get like a win-win situation out of the problem. There are three communication styles that we'll be covering: aggressive, passive, and assertive communication. In MRT, we try to deal with and look at the assertive communication. It's because that's the communication we try to deal with in a controlled, confident, and clear way to get your message across, so you can have an effective way of solving a solution, right? Alright, start out front. Start communication, right? It helps build the connection piece, right? In MRT. We're trying to connect. We're trying to connect when we're using our assertive communication. Assertive communication helps you solve the problem by remaining confident, clear, and controlled when you're speaking to one another. And then the ideal method of communication assertively is going to help you maintain that assertive communication. All right. So when we talk about communication styles, these are styles, not necessarily personalities. All right. So our three different types of communication. We have aggressive communication. How many of y'all have worked with a aggressive communicator in your time everything? Someone quickly tell me, how did that look like? How that work environment feel with you? Hostile.
Didn't really want to talk to that person.
Could you
try to avoid that person?
Yep. Try to avoid that person at all costs. Do you feel like you can talk to that person?
No.
All right. All right. Next form of communication style we have is passive. A passive communicator. Anybody work with some passive communicators in their time? What did that look? What does that look like to you?
It's annoying.
You never know what
Just
they're
say what you
actually
mean.
thinking.
Huh?
You
Never know what you're thinking. You know? And then our final communication style is assertive. Assertive. So, assertive communicator is what? How does that assertive communicator look in your work environment? Huh?
That person is clear and they understand exactly what needs to be done.
Clear and concise.
There's no sugarcoating.
No sugarcoating. You know exactly what you're getting when you're talking to them, right? Right. So that's the point of our and that's how we try to. We want to try to speak in when we're delivering something or you're trying to handle a problem. You want to be assertively, but not to the point where you are aggressive with it. You're just assertive with it. Alright, so we're going to go a little bit deeper now. Alright, so now we're going to talk a little bit more about aggressive styles and our different communication styles, right? Alright, so we talked about the aggressive communicator, right? And how that affects the work environment. Aggressive communicators, they tend to blame, talk down, and try to control the situation, right? Anybody got some examples of that? You want to try to clear up? Want to try to talk about?
If you're talking to someone higher ranking and they don't listen to any feedback and they just keep telling you the same thing over and over, and trying to explain the situation to them.
you're non-approachable, right?
Approachable, you don't build a team atmosphere where you can bring in other people's opinions. But I understand the purpose of being assertive and being clear and concise when you're giving directions. But you should also be open to receive feedback from that. And if you're really aggressive, you're not going to be. Nobody's going to give you that because nobody's going to feel like they can tell you anything. They should make Roger that move out.
Yep.
So.
And how many times you heard that statement of, oh, this is a one-way conversation? It's a one-way conversation, and you're gonna listen. Now, is there a time and place to be either one of these three communication styles?
Yes.
All right. Is there a time? Do you think it's a time and place where you may need to be aggressive, and in your communication style? But the thing, but yes, that is true. But the thing is with aggressive communication, we're looking at the aggressive communication in the form of respectfulness, disrespectfulness. You can be aggressive, also be respectful. As long as you're not being aggressive and you're like talking down and making somebody inferior to you. That's what we're looking at, aggressive piece of communication. Now we're going to talk real quick about we're going to look and talk briefly about our passive communicators. They kind of look a little timid, right?
Try to avoid making someone upset instead of saying what's right and what's wrong.
Try to, yeah. They're kind of that person who don't want to rock the boat, right? You know, they're kind of like timid. They're like soft spoken. They're like, can you do this?
If you have the
Could you? And so it tends to happen to that passive communicator.
They get shut down.
Take your kindness for weakness.
Communication, they think when you're being assertive with them, they think you're being aggressive.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Too sensitive? Okay. Awesome. All right. So, with that being said, and that going on, I want to show you a video, one of my favorite videos of this class. That's going to, and we're going to look at the aggressive, passive, and assertive communication. All right.
Cool.